Alrighty, good morning, Arkansas. This is Assistant Chief Forecaster Kevin back here once again. I'm here to give you guys a live update on what to expect as we get towards this evening and into the night regarding the winter weather threat here. So if you guys do me a favor, I know it's kind of, first thing 8 o'clock in the morning on a Monday morning. If you guys could share this live stream with your family and friends, that way they can stay updated on the latest information here. We got a lot to go over. I'm gonna try to speed blitz through this information as fast as I can, and then I'm gonna start tackling questions here. So I meant for this to be at 8 o'clock this morning. I got the live stream ready, and then our computer decided, oh hey, let's do an update. So that's why the live stream is kind of like 15 minutes delayed. I meant to make a post on the page, but anyways, let's talk about what we got going on here. Okay, so this is current last 6 hour precipitation total here, and you can see out towards our west over here in the Texas Panhandle, over here in western Oklahoma, western Kansas. This is what we're going to be looking at as we get towards this evening and into tonight. Okay, this is the area of snowfall over here associated with an area of low pressure coming out of New Mexico, and that's going to jet towards Arkansas as we get towards the afternoon. This evening, we're going to have information regarding timing here just a little bit here. But as I said before, this is what we got. So let's talk about temperatures right now here. And temperatures across the board are cold for a Monday morning here. We've been cold all weekend long, and it's no different from the day here. Okay, so give me 1 second here. It should be popping up. Give me 1 second. There it is. All right, so there's current temperatures here. Okay, so right now we've got current temperatures across the board. Give me 1 second to get this off the screen. Temperatures across the board about 30, 31 degrees across the area here. So you can definitely see where the freezing temperatures are at this point. And as a matter of fact, I believe I can show you guys a little bit of a trick real fast here, which is going to be our 32 degree line, where the 32 degree line is at this point. So bear with me for just a second. I know we're getting a lot of questions in right now. I'm going to go over all those questions here in just a little bit, but bear with me for just a bit. So this is where the 32 degree line is right now here, okay? And this is going to be very, 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 very important, especially as we get towards this evening and into tonight here. Not only at the surface, but aloft. I'm going to go over that here in just a little bit. But you can see where the 32 degree line is right now. So basically from north central Arkansas, kind of leaving out a natural state at this point. We've got some sunshine in place. So temperatures are going to warm up just a little bit before cloud cover takes over and this area of precipitation begins to overtake the natural state here. Okay, so let's talk about this real quickly before I get all the maps out at this point here. Okay, so you're going to see this tonight across mainly North Arkansas and Central Arkansas here, but you can see what we're talking about here. Okay, so how does winter precipitation work? If you're all of your columns, we're talking 850, 925, and also at your surface, if they're all cold and below freezing, you will get snow. Okay, however, this is what's going to be very important here. I'm not expecting a whole lot of ice with this setup, but this is very important. I want to go over this first because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to have mixed reports tonight. You're going to see rain, you're going to see snow, you're going to see a combination of both, or you're going to see all snow. And it's going to heavily depend on how much warm air we have aloft. That makes the biggest difference here, because if we have a ton of warm air aloft, then what happens is the snow's falling, but then it transitions over to all rain. So if you don't have any warm air in place aloft, then what will happen is all of your column is warm, and you can see all snow or the potential of rain snow mix here. So keep that in mind. This is going to be very important, especially for tonight, because everybody's going to see kind of different things here across the state here. All right, now let's talk about the winter weather outlook at this point. Okay, so this is before we get into that, excuse me, let's talk about the winter weather advisory. Okay, so the winter weather advisory includes much of northern Arkansas. The higher elevations over there in western Arkansas is going to go until 3 a.m. Tuesday. Mixed precipitation expected. We're talking 1 to 2 inches of snow locally higher. Mainly any higher terrains over there in the Ouachitas and the Ozarks and north and central Arkansas here. Now, I want to stress something before everybody sees this and tries to run off. Just because you're not in winter weather advisory doesn't mean you won't see snow or winter weather or anything like that. This is strictly for travel purposes. This is not for, you're not going to see snow or anything like that. And keep in mind, this is going to continue to trend throughout the day. Don't be shocked if we're end up colder and some more areas may get added to this winter weather advisory. Will it come to central Arkansas? I doubt it. The biggest reason why is because there's so much uncertainty on accumulations here in central Arkansas. I believe your best shot of seeing decent accumulation is going to be any higher elevation and in northern Arkansas. However, we'll watch the situation closely. You guys know if anything occurs throughout the day, we'll be here, okay? But hazardous travel may develop, so watch out near Harrison, Mount Home, over towards Mount View, the higher elevations over there, and western Arkansas here. So keep that in mind. So this is our current thoughts. All right, and this is going over timing at this point, and then I'm gonna reevaluate this this map once I get into questions here just a little bit. But let's talk about this. All right, so southern and eastern Arkansas, you guys are pretty much a cold rain at this point. I'm not expecting any sort of winter precipitation down there, or southern or in eastern Arkansas. You're just gonna be too warm for it. However, the forecast becomes still uncertain for our folks in central up to northeastern Arkansas, because guidance right now is suggesting that our 850, 925 millibar temperatures will be below freezing. Keep in mind, if you're at 38, 39, 40 degrees, you can still get snow. It won't accumulate, but you will still get snow across the board. So over there in western Arkansas, we're talking right around 5 o'clock this evening to 11 o'clock tonight. Okay, so from Fayetteville to Fort Smith to Waldron, Mena, down to the Queen, that's where we're going to be watching for that winter weather potential as we get towards that 5 o'clock time frame. So if you got any travel plans over there, keep that in mind. That's going to be around rush hour, so watch that closely, especially across western Arkansas here, and especially if you live in higher elevations. As we push into north central and central Arkansas, I think Little Rock, if you were to see winter weather, it's going to be right around that 7, 8, 9 o'clock time frame. Okay, guidance is very, very, very uncertain on winter weather here in central Arkansas. There's a perfectly good reason why we are not under a winter weather advisory. But the biggest thing I want to stress, you don't need an advisory to say you're not going to get winter weather. We've had it happen before where we got winter weather and there was no advisory. So keep that in mind. Those are for travel purposes only and accumulations. It's not so much as you're not going to see winter weather. But anyways, from 8 o'clock tonight to 1 p.m. from Harrison to Mount Home, down to Little Rock to Hot Springs, over towards Mount Ida. Okay, and you can see the area in purple. This is what we got, a rain to a winter mix. That is rain, sleet, and snow transitioning at the very end to light snow. So keep that in mind here. This is not going to be a winter storm for central Arkansas or eastern Arkansas or anything like that. Okay, this is mainly going to be higher elevations and northwestern Arkansas, but you can still see winter weather as far south as that I-40 corridor down here in the metro. And in northeastern Arkansas, if you were to see winter weather, it's going to be a little bit after midnight tonight. It's going to go until first thing tomorrow morning, right around sunrise. And then all this should be moving out of the state by the time we get towards first thing Tuesday morning here. Okay, so before South Arkansas and Eastern Arkansas, I'm not expecting any sort of winter weather down there unless something significantly changes throughout the day. Now, let's talk about not winter weather. Let's talk about the snowfall accumulation map, and then I'm going to transition this over to our Futurecast and show you guys a little bit more on specific timing. All right, now, this is the accumulation map here. Now, I want to talk to you guys about this because if you're a weather enthusiast, you're seeing a lot of disagreement right now with accumulation. Okay, that map was done at 7:45. I started that map at 5:15 this morning. That's 2 hours of studying data, looking at over everything, looking at real-time data and stuff like that. It took me 2 hours to make that map. That's how much uncertainty we have right now in accumulation. So obviously North Arkansas and the higher elevations, you're going to be the winners for today in terms of snowfall accumulation. And over there in western Arkansas. However, the forecast becomes very uncertain for our folks in southwest, central, and the northeastern Arkansas. The area that you saw in purple, we have included the accumulation map just to be on the safe side, because you can get one of these events that overperforms like we saw on Friday, and those areas that were originally supposed to see a trace to half an inch ended up with 2 to 3 inches of snow. So we're going to watch that closely. We'll keep you guys updated. I don't have confidence to go any higher than this right now, but just watch it closely, guys. Okay, and I'm going to show you why here in just a little bit with the Futurecast model, but watch it closely. So from the Queen to the Metro up to Jonesboro, trace to half an inch, and then any higher elevations, 1 to 2 inches. It could be some locally higher amounts up there as well, 1 to 2 inches in the Ouachitas, and then down there in southwestern Arkansas. So we'll watch the situation very, very closely. So give me 1 second. I'm going to switch this over to our Futurecast, and then I'm going to take questions here just shortly here. So bear me for just a bit. Let me see if I can switch all of this this good technology over to our Futurecast real quick, and then I'm going to take a few questions here and stuff like that here. But as I said before, this is what we got. So I'm going to go back over to our timing real quick so you guys can kind of look and see what we got. So western Arkansas, we're talking right around that 5 o'clock time frame here. So if you've got any plans tonight, getting off of work, stuff like that, 5, 6 o'clock, you want to watch out for some winter weather over there in western Arkansas. And then you will have to watch eastern Arkansas, not eastern Arkansas, north central and northeastern Arkansas as we get towards this evening and into tonight here. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use this particular model because I believe this one's doing a much better job than the other. So give me 1 second. Let's see if I can get this up and running. 1 second here. Give me 1 second. See if I can get this going. So, all right. Give me 1 second here. I'm gonna see if I can. Is it gonna let me look at the precipitation type? I don't think it is. Okay. All right. Never mind. Okay. Never mind. That's not gonna work. So we're gonna use this one then. All right. Give me 1 second here. I'm still here, by the way, guys. We're trying to load up Futurecast right now. Here, there it is. All right. So there it is, right there. Let me switch this over. And let's talk about this, okay? So this is going to be, let me see if I can back this up. This is right around this morning at 6 a.m. Now, I'm going to take this out all the way till 5 o'clock this evening. And you guys are going to see where the precipitation really starts to build over here in western Arkansas. So there you go, right at this point. And you can see where the white area is. That is where we got the snowfall ongoing. And then you can see the areas in orange. That is the heavy rainfall at this point. So I'm not seeing any sleet or anything. This is going to indicate sleet, and that's going to indicate snow. So this is what we got at this point, right around 5 o'clock. From Queen to Mena to Fort Smith, over towards Fayetteville, over towards Mount Home up here in Mount View, and now towards Atkinson. So this is 5 o'clock this evening. So that's why I'm saying watch the situation closely here. Now I'm going to take this out all the way till 7 o'clock this evening, and you guys are going to see what I'm talking about here. Okay, so this is why I'm not ruling out the Metro at this point. This is why I'm not doing it, because the biggest problem I have right now with the Metro is the fact that you have to watch the situation closely with the temperatures. Let's zoom this down a little bit and show you guys what I mean. So this is why we have from Hot Springs to Arkadelphia, Alexandria, Benton up towards the Metro here, because you can see that your loft temperatures are cold enough to support a rain, snow, or even an all-snow event across western Pulaski County and Saline County. So we'll watch that situation closely, but as I mentioned before, the biggest impacts are going to be up here in the higher elevations up here in northwestern Arkansas. So let me see if I can get our scale to move over for just a bit. Okay, that's perfect. All right, so there it is. All right, so this is what we got at this point. So there's our Futurecast. So you can see about 7 o'clock this evening over here in northwestern Arkansas. Let's take this out all the way to 8 o'clock. And I mentioned before, that's going to be the area that we're going to watch very close. And also, we're going to have live streams tonight, stuff like that. So if you send photos or videos in, you can tune in and everything like that. But our map basically goes from the Queen up towards Hot Springs to Little Rock up towards Jonesboro. So northwestern and western Arkansas, you're going to have to watch the situation closely. This is where the snowfall is going to be at its highest up here in the higher elevations. But you will have to watch down here in western Pulaski County, over towards Saline County, Garland County, stuff like that. We'll keep an eye on the situation at this point. I'm not expecting any sort of advisories or anything like that here in central Arkansas. But if we do see snowfall, it is going to be highly dependent on what our temperatures are. And you can see what happens to our Futurecast. As a matter of fact, temperature warm just enough to transition back over to rainfall. So if you go back over to rainfall, that's what's going to hurt your accumulation potential here in central Arkansas. So you can see by 9, 10 o'clock this evening, this is what we got. So you got the snowfall accumulating up here in northern Arkansas, and then down here in central Arkansas, this is ending. And about 10, 11 o'clock, it's beginning to move out of the natural state here, okay? So what I'm going to do here, give me 1 second. I'm going to see if I can get this to loop. And while I'm getting that information loaded up, I am going to take some questions here, okay? So we're going to switch this back over to this. I'm going to have this loop over for all the way through tomorrow afternoon. Give me 1 second here. See if I can get this loop over to that. And then I'm going to take some questions here, okay? So I've seen a lot coming in at this point. John, great question here. So any thunder snow potential with this? By the way, good morning, everybody. I forgot to say good morning. Good morning, everyone. So any thunderstorm potential with this, it's going to be very, very hard to come by. Southwestern Arkansas, I wouldn't rule it out, especially if you start seeing some embedded thunderstorms down there. I wouldn't rule it out, but I just don't think you have a lot of what we call a loft instability to support thunder snow activity. We'll watch closely. I'm going to monitor real-time data all day long today, so we'll watch it closely, guys. But the thunder snow potential, we'll watch it closely, but I'm not counting on it at this current time here. Okay, so let me see here. And also, one more thing I want to stress, because I know a lot of people are probably going to get upset with us not seeing winter weather today here. Okay, so the biggest thing is keep in mind that this is November. Okay, it's not December, it's not January or February. Just because you don't see snow right now doesn't mean you're not going to see it down the road. Okay. Keep that in mind here across the area. We're still in November. We're still in early November. This is typical that we get our first winter weather event at this point, and then we go straight into winter. Okay, now keep in mind, this is not going to be it. This is not going to be our last event for a while or anything like that. So that's going to be the biggest thing here. For some reason, I lost all of my questions. So if you guys can let me know in the comments, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can pull this up over here. So while I'm waiting for that to load up, I'm going to answer a few questions here. So Garrett, I see yours. Will the snow be heavy if it transitions over to Central Arkansas? Yes, it's going to be a heavy wet snow if it were to transition over here in the metro at this point here. I'm going to see if I can get our technology to work with me right now. Give me 1 second here. See if I can get this going at this point. Okay, so it's going to be loading up here just shortly, but I'm gonna take a look at it real fast. So what are your thoughts for Western Lawrence County here? It's going to be, like I said before, it's going to be a very, very tricky forecast. It's very tricky unless you're in higher elevations or in northwestern Arkansas. Right there in that purple area, from Walnut Ridge to the Metro to the Queen, and I'm seeing a lot of questions about it. The biggest thing I want to stress is that this is not going to be a winter storm by any stretch of the matter. I'm not expecting it. You don't have the amount of cold air that we had on Friday. You had Friday's cold air here, then you would expect a lot of winter weather here. But the biggest thing I want to stress is that it's very tricky because aloft temperatures are going to be let's pull up Michael Dew's question. There it is. Aloft temperatures are going to be a very, very tricky thing to forecast tonight. Okay? And that's the reason why I pulled up that first map at the beginning of the live stream. When I talk about aloft temperatures, I'm talking 850, 925, and then at the surface. At the surface is where we are. Well, we know the surface. We know one temperature, right? That's the surface temperature. But if you're a weather enthusiast, you know 3 temperatures. That's surface, that's 925, and that's 850. 850 and 925, especially with winter weather events like this, is very, very, very crucial. Michael Dew's comment is the main reason why I have winter weather in Central Arkansas. I know everybody else across the board probably don't have it because you're looking at model guidance and you're like, oh man, it's just going to show rain. Let's slap rain on there and that's it. You got to look deeper. You got to make sure that everything supports just rain, because if you look at loft temperatures and you see -1, 0, stuff like that, which is 32 degrees Fahrenheit, by the way, or lower, that supports snow because snow's falling through the column. Remember, I mentioned before the column. Let's go back to this real quick, and I'm going to try to simplify this a little bit downward, okay? So let's take a look at this, okay? So where the cloud level is, that's about, let's take for example, that's about 700, okay? Then you go to 850, then 925, and then at the surface. Where the left side of this graphic, where you see all snow, that means your entire column is below freezing. That's how you get an all-snow event. That's why the higher elevations are more prioritized with this event versus central and eastern down to southwestern Arkansas. However, if, and I'm paying attention to Michael Dew's comment, if his comment were to verify, then what will happen is you will see the snow in central and southwestern Arkansas. That's why we haven't completely ruled it out. Accumulation-wise, because of your surface temperatures being so warm, it's going to be very difficult to get accumulations here in central Arkansas because your temperatures are in the mid to upper 30s, low 40s. However, it does not mean you cannot see snowfall with this setup here. So great comment, Michael, dude. Great comment. I want to throw that out across the board. So do you think the snow will cause problems here in Hot Springs? I do not believe so. Like I said before, temperatures are going to be here in central Arkansas and southwest Arkansas are going to be above freezing. The higher elevations in northwestern Arkansas is going to see the most problems. That's why you had the winter weather advisory over there. But I don't think you're going to see too much of impacts here in central Arkansas in terms of travel or anything like that here. Let's go back to this real quick. That's why I mentioned before. We'll have to watch that closely here. Okay, so down in Eldo, cold rain. It's going to be a cold rain down there. I'm not expecting any sort of winter weather down there in southern Arkansas or in far eastern Arkansas because you're just too warm. You're too warm aloft and you're too warm at the surface. So just kind of keep that in mind here. Okay, so Lenore, I saw about next Thursday and Friday. The biggest thing is with that event has gone down to Texas and Louisiana and Mississippi because we're going to be so cold here. The ridge is going to push all that activity south of us. So it did look like at first that we were going to be dealing with winter weather here that Thursday, Friday time frame, but I just don't see it anymore. I think it's going to be south of our area, and we're just going to be dealing with cold and dry here in Arkansas. So let me see here. So when we see us make snow angels, if we get enough snowfall here in central Arkansas, then yes. Even though I have a cold, I'll be out there and I'll do snow angels if we see it. I just don't think we're going to get it here. I don't think it's going to happen across the board. So will a freeze warning be issued? You guys had one down there in South Arkansas a couple of days ago. I think at this point you are past your growing season and stuff like that. So all the freeze advisories and freeze warnings that have been issued have already been done for this year. So you probably won't see them again until the spring of next year. Okay, so Fort Smith, you guys are going to be seeing the brunt of it over there at about 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. You guys are going to be seeing the snow coming in. I think we got our Futurecast loaded up. So let's take a look at that real quickly here, so we can kind of talk about specific timing. So here's your snowfall, not accumulation, your snowfall ongoing over here in Oklahoma. There's your rain. Notice something here. There's no freezing rain and there's no sleet. So it's all rain or snow. That means your aloft temperatures are either marginally cold or very cold. That's the biggest thing. But let's take this out a little bit, and you can see. So let's take a look at the Fort Smith. Let's answer your question, Heather. Look at Fort Smith. This is right around 4 or 5 o'clock this evening. This is where the snow is going to begin to move into western Arkansas. So I would say for that commute, going into, picking the kids up from school, stuff like that, getting ready for dinner, watch it closely. We'll keep you guys updated on any travel issues or anything that occurs over here in western Arkansas. But this should be moving in right around that 3, 4 o'clock time frame. And if this trend holds, I may have to tweak our timing up just a little bit to account for the speed up. So let me see here. So it could be wrong. I don't recall it being so active this early in a while. Although I've lived here since 2004. It's very rare to get snowfall like this. We've had this happen in 2014. We've had it happen in 2018. So it's kind of like a 4-year thing. We've always dealt with this here in Natural State. We don't have it every single November. But you will have some in November. You will have some Novembers that produce snowfall and stuff like that. So this is not uncommon. We've seen this happen before in the past, like I mentioned before, in 2014, 2018, and I think we had some events beyond 2014 before. But anyways, this is not uncommon for November. We've seen this happen time and time again. This does not dictate anything that's going to happen in the wintertime. Okay? I know a lot of people say we get snow in November, it ruins us for the winter. That's not always the case. Go back, and I believe in 2000 we had winter weather in November as well, and we ended up with a very, very snowy December into January. So this does not dictate winter weather at all for our winter weather outlook or anything like that, but this is just, it's not uncommon. If you have cold air and your moisture sinks at the perfect timing, you can get this to happen across the board. Okay, so let me see here. Northern White County up there, Justin up there in Stup Rock area. That's up here in northern Arkansas. You guys are going to be seeing the snow right around that 5, 6 o'clock time frame, and then it will be over your area for throughout the evening and into tonight, and then it will start moving out by the time we get towards that 10, 11, 12 o'clock time frame up there in northern Arkansas. Okay, so I believe it's BB. I believe you got a game tonight. Central Arkansas, I want to make this crystal clear. Central Arkansas is going to be good to go. Okay, your temperatures are too warm at the surface to support any travel issues or anything like that. I want to make that clear now. This is not going to be a winter storm for Central Arkansas. This is not going to be it. Yes, there will be the potential of snowfall. We have it in the forecast for Central Arkansas. This is not going to impact travel. It's not going to impact anything like that. So keep that in mind across the area. If we see it, it's going to be blending in with the snow, and the rainfall, and the rainfall is going to cut into your accumulations at this point. So let me see, Michael, I saw the wrap. I was trying to pull the wrap up for our Futurecast, and I couldn't do it. But I saw the wrap model. I saw what it was trying to do with the accumulations across Central Arkansas. I know it has like 2 to 3 inches of snow here. We'll see. I don't 100% trust any guidance. That's just a forecaster's thing. But we'll see. The wrap model tends to be just a little bit overdone sometimes, so we'll wait and see what happens. If it happens, it's an overperforming event. It's bound to happen. When you're forecasting winter weather, it's either going to hit 100% right on the dot, it's either going to go right above, or it's going to be below. So that's the biggest thing with this. By the way, I'm going to have this loop through so you guys can kind of see what the Futurecast is at this point. Let me see if I can get this right there. So I'm going to have that loop through while I'm answering questions here. So what are we expecting up there in Mountain View? That's coming up on the Futurecast here just shortly. We're talking about potential snowfall up there in Mountain View area. Watch out for some travel issues up there, especially late tonight and the early part of your Tuesday morning here. Also, one more thing. Temperatures are going to fall very quickly behind this as we get towards late tonight and early part of your Tuesday morning. So our folks up there in northern Arkansas, northwest, higher elevations, tomorrow morning, watch out for some potential of black ice on the roadways in the morning here. Okay, so what about the Truman area up there in northeastern Arkansas? It's going to be very tricky, and and Michael, dude, you're killing it. You're killing it in the comments, dude. He's making up great points, by the way. This is what I mean. Surface temperature 36, 38 degrees. If it falls heavy enough, yes, it can, and that's why. Let's go back to this real quickly. Let's go back to this real fast. All right, this is why I have this, Michael, from a trace to a half an inch. That's why I have it, because when you're forecasting winter weather, you're not going to hit it 100% right on the dot. You always want to forecast either going overachieving or going under. You never want to go too high when winter weather. I always keep it low for a reason. I will watch that closely. This is what real-time data is going to be our best friend for today. He's a weather enthusiast, by the way. This is what we're going to have to watch. Dew points right now in the 20s. When this precipitation move in, cloud cover. There's a lot of things we're watching today on the sidelines in terms of trying to get winter weather in central and northeastern Arkansas. Perhaps model guidance may be a little too warm. It wouldn't shock me. Model guidance is stupid wrong with temperatures, especially with with Arctic-like temperatures. So we'll watch it close. I don't necessarily disagree with your comment, Michael. I do believe you're pretty correct with your statements, but we'll watch it closely. That's the biggest thing. It's just something that it's going to be real-time data that's going to come in and kind of dictate how it's going. That's why right there you don't want to go 100% off of model guidance here. Okay, so it always snows even for a moment on my birthday. Today your birthday? I think I read that comment correct. So if it's your birthday, happy birthday. I really hope you get snowfall for today here. Okay, so let me see here. Let me go over questions real quick. Okay, so timing and temps for north central Arkansas, the Batesville area, and any accumulation. Up here, the Batesville area, right now I have you traced a half an inch. By the way, I want to stress this too. The accumulation map is going to get tweaked every 5 seconds a day. I'm going to be kind of watching real-time data and kind of analyzing the situation, and I'm going to be kind of tweaking it here and there throughout the day. So if there's some significant changes, we'll let you know. But right now, I said good bet be a trace to half an inch up there in the Batesville area. Some locally higher amounts. Watch out for temperatures up there. Temperature's going to be around 28, 30 degrees up there in northern Arkansas. Could see some travel impacts up there as well. And that's what I mentioned before. Don't be shocked. We get like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock this afternoon, and we have these winter weather advisories. Let's go back to the winter weather advisories real quick. Don't be shocked. These winter weather advisories kind of get expanded a little bit out once we get the real-time data in terms of what we're looking at and everything like that here. Okay, so thank you for the update. I appreciate it. Let me see. So we're in a difficult area to read where Clark and the Pike County meet. So up the Arkadelphia area down there in southwestern Arkansas, you guys have got to be I think you're right there. Okay, so you're basically right there where that black line is. That is going to be a transition line. That is where your rain kind of transitions over from just cold rain to the potential of seeing rain, snow, sleet, stuff like that. So if you're right there on that line, you have that potential. Great comment. Southwest Arkansas is a very, very difficult forecast to kind of go for them today. Okay, the biggest thing is a loft temperatures. Loft temperatures are going to be a very crucial thing for today. I cannot stress that enough across the board. Let me see something real quick. Michael Dim, you got me intrigued. I'm going to take a look at the wrap, and I'm going to see if I can get the precipitation type to work with me. I don't know if I can. But I'm gonna see if I can try to get it up. If I can't, then let me see if I can. But while I'm doing that, I'm gonna answer the questions here. So yeah, over there in southwestern Arkansas, we'll have to watch it close. This is gonna be a very, very difficult situation to try to forecast at this time here. Let me see if I've got my code. Basically right now I'm trying to make sure that we're good to go in terms of trying to load this Futurecast up here, but. Right now, it's 4 down there in southwest Arkansas. The biggest thing is, can your loft temperatures be cold enough to support winter weather? Can it happen? I've seen it happen before in the past. It can happen, especially in the higher elevations over there. But right now, there's just too much uncertainty to dictate if we're going to see winter weather or not over there at this point. But this is what we got from 5 p.m. to 11 o'clock this evening here. So basically, I'm going to reset our stuff, and I'm going to see if I can get the wrap up. If I can't, then I'll show it later on. But let me see. So the Prescott area down there in southwest Arkansas, like I mentioned before, very difficult forecast. We're talking the potential of rain transitioning over for a brief for a brief bit to rain and snow over there in western and southwestern Arkansas. Like I mentioned before, accumulations. I know a lot of people are worrying about accumulations. Right now, I'm going a trace to a half an inch. That's the biggest thing. I'm not expecting this to be a full-blown winter storm. It's just, I don't think it's going to happen across the board. So let me see here. So it really shouldn't be that cold. You don't often see pipe troubles until you, great comment, Clark. Yeah, I was trying to get to that one earlier. I don't expect we're going to have pipe issues with this one. This is not going to be a February 2021 repeat where we had, temperatures fall below freezing and going to the teens. It's not going to be anything like that. Temperatures will be cold throughout this week. And there it is. I got it. So, Michael, do give me 1 second. I'm going to pull this up. Let me see if I can switch this over. I finally got the wrap model to load up for me. So, let's back this up, and I'm going to show you guys what he means, what he was talking about. So, the wrap model, I think it's backed off from what it was before, because it has Central Arkansas, and then, okay, so there it is. All right, so now, instead of snow, it's going freezing rain now. So that's why I'm saying it's a very difficult forecast to try to pinpoint. But earlier models, the earlier run had had snow here in Central Arkansas. It kind of blasted us with 2 to 3 inches of snow, and I didn't buy it. But if it were to happen, there could be a brief moment where it transitions over here. So it kind of fits to where our model got it. Well, our model got it. So our forecast is right now across this area. Like I said, this is one model. One particular model. It's going to verify so much today, it's not going to be funny. So keep in mind here, okay? So it's a snow going to be cold. I love Jordan. Jordan, I'm gonna ignore your comment because I know him personally. I'm going to ignore your comment at this point. Austin, yes, it could be a very, very not what we call a nowcast situation here. And what we mean by a nowcast situation is it's basically us sitting here all day long looking at real-time data, literally looking at a screen all day long and tracking dew points, tracking temperatures, both at the surface and the loft, what does the precipitation do, stuff like that. That's basically what we call a nowcast situation. So our hands are going to be full today trying to look at all that data and trying to pinpoint on who's going to see what. And don't be shocked by the time we get towards 3, 4 o'clock, we may be talking a little bit of a different situation here, okay? So what about Faulkner County? We're talking the Conway area, trace to half an inch of snowfall. We're talking about the potential of immense, primarily cold rain. That's the biggest thing. It's going to be primarily cold rain. But there will be an opportunity, I would say right around that 9 to the clock time frame, for the potential of this transitioning over to a rain, snow, mix, or even a brief period of all snow before it comes to an end. And by the way, while I have everybody here, I think I have like 300 people here, send your photos, send your videos. We're going to have our Arkansas Storm Hunters page up tonight. So that way we don't like kind of fill up the AWW main page. So our Arkansas Storm Hunters page is going to be kind of showing all the photos and videos and stuff. So once you send that in, we'll have it posted over there and we'll kind of share it on the main page and stuff like that so everybody kind of looks. So if y'all see snowfall tonight, same thing we saw Friday night, we'll have a thread. If you guys want to see, if you guys want to send those photos or videos in, let us know and stuff like that. Send us a message and we'll get it posted for you guys with credit given to you. But that's the biggest thing for tonight. It's not going to be on the main page. It's going to be on the Arkansas Storm Hunters page for tonight. So let me see here. As usual, Benton is right on that line. Benton up there, right here in Central Arkansas, yeah, I mentioned before, it's a very, very difficult forecast right now. Because, I go back to Michael Dew's comment because he hit it right on the nail. Our loft temperatures could be very cold. Like I mentioned before with the wrap model, it's not so much as looking at a precipitation map. It goes so much deeper than that. You have to look at your loft temperatures. You have to make sure they match up. There's a lot that goes into winter weather forecasting than just looking at a map and say, hey, we're going to go with it and stuff like that. There's a lot that goes into it. You have to make sure everything lines up. So that's why a lot of people are kind of right there on that line, because it's so difficult to pinpoint every single location because everything varies so differently in terms of temperatures and stuff like that. So just kind of watch that closely. Let me see here. So thank you, Ken. We'll stay tuned in. That's the biggest thing. Don't tune out for today, guys. We'll have all the information on the page and stuff like that. By the way, we're not expecting any sort of severe weather today. I saw that one post on Facebook saying thunderstorms today in southeast Arkansas. You're not going to see it today. It ain't going to happen. You don't have the instability for it to support winter weather. Not winter weather, excuse me, severe weather kind of southeastern Arkansas here. But I can't rule out a few rumbles of thunder down there, but nothing significant across the board. Frank, thank you for that comment, man. I really appreciate you at this point, Sean. Goodness, guys, come on. Don't forget your sunscreen if you're going to play on the snow. Oh, goodness. Let me see here. Okay, so let me see. Michael did a great comment. My old guy is going to go back and forth every run. Now it comes in colder. Then it comes in warmer. That's why you don't go off of models, guys. That's the biggest thing. If you went off a model guy that's strictly right off the bat, I would be changing this map a million times. It's not so much just model guidance. At this particular point, you could probably throw model guidance right out of the gate, out of the window. Just go ahead and throw it out. At this point, you're looking at real-time data. What are we looking at? What's the trends? What's the temperature trends and stuff like that? Because model guidance at this point, it's not going to do you any good. At this point, you're looking at real-time data at this point. Great comment, by the way. No, you're not expecting a whole lot of wind. As a matter of fact, let me double-check that. Let me double-check that and make sure. I'm looking at our other monitor over here. No, you're good. You're good on the wind gust today. It's not going to be like it was on Friday where it was just windy and cold and stuff like that. It's not going to be windy behind this point, okay? So I'm going to address this one. Alan, I agree. It's not going to be a big deal. It's not going to be a blizzard or anything like that. But a lot of people like snow. Don't knock at anyone that's trying to enjoy the snow at this point, okay? Biggest thing is going to be higher elevations in northwestern Arkansas. Watch closer for accumulation and stuff like that. It's not going to be a big deal. But a lot of people, this is probably going to be their first snow. A lot of people missed out Friday night. So if y'all see snow, enjoy it. Enjoy it while it's here. Okay, so what are the loft temperatures right now? How much will they change throughout the day? Great comment, Ann. Let's take a look at that real quick. So, ignore the header, but let's take a look at that real fast. So, I have a neat thing over here, and this is what I mean when I look at the loft temperatures. I have a neat thing over here that will allow me, I believe, to take a look at that. So let's take a look at that real quickly here, and you guys are going to see this a lot today. This is what we call and a lot of weather enthusiasts are going to know what I'm talking about this. This is what we call a mesoscale event. This means that you're literally looking at everything else and trying to figure out what's going to be happening. So let's take a look at that real quick. All right, your 850 millibar 32 degree line. Let's go over this real fast. All right, so this is 850 millibars. Okay, it's not going to show you 925, obviously. But at 850, this is mid-level, by the way. Your temperatures are well above freezing right now. Keep in mind, 8 o'clock in the morning. So this is natural. You're having your daytime heating and stuff like that. So basically, anywhere along this blue line and north is where you're below freezing aloft. So if we were to see anything right now, it would be primarily rain. But let's take a look at your current radar. Look what's going on over here in Texas and over here in Kansas, eastern Oklahoma. Notice, western Oklahoma. Notice, some areas are not below freezing aloft, but they're still getting snow. That's why I'm saying this is going to be a very tricky forecast for tonight. It's very tricky, especially for folks in central and southwestern Arkansas, because you can see, on a normal situation, if you're behind that blue line, you see snow. But if you're ahead of the blue line, you don't. But that tells me right there your 925 temperatures are pretty cold. So that supports winter weather all the way down to the surface. It's a lot that goes into it, guys. There is a lot. You would be sitting here all day trying to figure out what's going to be happening across the board. So Poinsettia County up there in northeastern Arkansas. Debatable. I think you may have a shot of a brief mix, and then it will transition over across the board here. So, yeah, Michael, I just showed the loft temperatures here. It won't let me get 925. 925, I had to pull up a whole other data set and stuff like that this morning. But I'll have to look at it throughout the day here. So, Foreman, down there in southwestern Arkansas, I do believe so. You will watch, like I said, I'm not expecting this thing to be a massive winter storm or anything like that, but there will be a shot, especially for our folks down there in southwestern Arkansas, for the potential of seeing a mix, especially late tonight and early part of your tomorrow morning here. Okay, so, yeah, one more thing, Michael, I do agree with you on that one. Like I say, he's just killing it in the comments. Dry slotting. That's another thing we have to watch. If that occurs, especially up there in northern northwestern Arkansas, your snow totals are going to go down. That's why you don't buy model guys. A lot of people are probably seeing models right now going 3 to 4 inches of snow up there. I don't know yet. I want to see what happens to that dry slot, and then we will go from there at this point. Okay, so let me see here. If you have any more questions, let me know. Just tuning in, northwestern Arkansas, Bentonville. Saw we weren't under the winter weather advisory. That's weird. Okay, up there in Benton County. That is weird. I don't know why you guys are not under a winter weather advisory up there. But everybody else around us is under one. I do believe you will get winter weather up there. That's Tulsa. I have no idea why you guys were not included in that. I'm like, I don't know what's the difference between one county under you and where you are right now. I don't see a big time difference. I do believe this is going to be a meso event, but I don't think it's going to be that defined meso up there. So I don't know why you guys are not under one, but I do believe you will see winter weather up there. Let's go back over to accumulations. I have you at a trace to a half an inch up there. Could be some locally higher amounts up there in Benton County. So we'll watch it closely here. But John, me too. I like blizzards. They're pretty cool. Will Mina get any snow for tonight? And let's go back over to timing. So I do believe, especially in higher elevations over here in Polk County, PLLK, you will see snowfall. I think it's going to be a general mix of precipitation. You may actually go over to all snow at some point over here in western Arkansas. It's going to be very, very tricky to try to forecast these temperatures right now, especially across central and western Arkansas. So if you're outside of the higher elevations, your forecast is extremely difficult for today. If you're in any higher elevations, then you're good to go. So, but yeah, I do believe you will see at least a transition to snow before it all said and done. We'll have to wait and see. Okay, I know, and that's the biggest thing. A lot of people just want to see snowfall. That's the biggest thing, and I hope the majority of everybody sees it. And the biggest thing is, guys, don't get discouraged by the fact that we don't see winter. If you don't see winter weather tonight, the biggest thing is it's still November. We have December, January, February, and in some cases March and April to see winter weather. This is not going to be our last winter weather event. It's November. It happens. It's not uncommon to see winter weather at this point. But beyond this, we can still get it in December. We can still get it in January, February, and stuff like that across the area. Okay, so if you'll have any more questions, please let me know. Let me double check and make sure I'm not missing anybody's comments or anything like that. Ashley, I already got to you. Michael Du, I saw your comment. Will foreman see it? Yes. Winter mitts will be possible. Bring on the snow to Little Rock. I said before, I saw the wrap earlier, and it wouldn't shock me, honestly. And this is what happened Friday night. We had Central Arkansas kind of right there on that line, and what ended up happening was it overperformed, and we saw sleet and I think a little bit of snow. And actually, as a matter of fact, you had accumulating snow in western Pulaski County, if I'm correct. So it's not the first time, and it won't be the last for this thing to overperform. That's why I have Central Arkansas right there on that line, because of the fact that we'll have to watch it closely across the area. So it won't be the first time that it happens. Also, I see your comment, by the way, about, let me go back over to it real quickly here. Yeah, I wish you could blow the map up, etc. We will have this information on the page. Okay, I have to keep it like this because we have all the other stuff we have to put on this graphics. Otherwise, it would just hide a bunch of stuff. So this is blown up. Make sure you turn your phones kind of sideways. That way you can see the map kind of blown up. But this is not going to be just limited to live stream. We'll have that information posted after this live stream as well here. Okay, so one more thing I want to stress is this is going to be an overnight event. So watch out tomorrow morning, especially up there in northwestern western Arkansas, especially in this winter weather advisory area, for the potential of seeing some travel impacts, especially on bridges and overpasses and stuff like that first thing tomorrow morning here. Okay, so I do believe that is it. Dustin, I will fire you for that comment. He's one of my forecasters, by the way. Let me see. So, yeah, 4 years ago we had a beautiful snow. I know. Down there in southeastern Arkansas, where you got that 2 to 3 inch snowfall, that one was an overperforming event. It was not supposed to happen like that. It was only supposed to be a trace, dusting, overperform. That's the biggest worry I have with November systems. Whenever you get snowfall in November, and we've seen this time and time again in 2014, in 2018, etc., when you get snowfall in November, it always overperforms. It always does it because model guidance right now is going off of what we call Climo. Okay, it's going on. That's where model guidance is mainly based off of is Climo. Basically, your norm. It basically goes off of that and stuff like that. Right now, you're not supposed to see snow at all. You're not supposed to see any sort of winter weather advisories. No snow, no nothing. This is November. So model guidance right now is like, oh, you're trying to throw out snow. I don't know what to do with this. So that's why in November everything overperforms because model guidance don't know how to handle it because it's obviously too early. So that's why we watch November systems so closely. Yes, model guidance may say one thing, but when real time, another thing may happen. Look at Friday night. We had a trace of half an inch of snow. Woke up Saturday morning, Razorback Stadium filled with snow. Everybody else filled with snow. Multiple reports of 1 to 2 inches, some locally higher amounts of snow across the state. North of the state of Missouri got a foot of snow out of that event. So that's why we watch the situation closely in November because model guidance simply just don't know how to handle it because it goes beyond Climo at this point. So let me double check and make sure. Let me see here. We did have, and that's what I was saying. I do believe, Friday night, you guys had some snow over there in western Pulaski County this past Friday night here. You got to get your bread and milk. Goodness, guys. Goodness. It's not going to be a February 2021 event. I mean, hey, if you want to go get bread and milk, go ahead, knock yourself out. But it's just, Goodness, guys. Let me see here. Okay, so Amy, I got yours. If y'all have any more questions, let me know in the comments and stuff like that. Let me see here. I think that's it. Ginger, thank you. Thank you for being here, by the way, at this point. And I said before, this is not going to be our last live update or anything like that. If something significantly changes throughout this morning and into the afternoon hours, we'll watch it closely, guys. But aloft temperatures are going to be the biggest thing to go off of tonight. Okay, that's going to be the biggest thing here. Matter of fact, I do believe, and I don't know if I have this up with, I do. Hold on. Let me see if I have this up. I think it's a NAM model I have this up on. I have to go back and reorganize this later on. But let's take a look at this while I have everybody here. So, let me go back over to this real fast. Is it going to load? I don't know if it's going to load up or not. I don't believe so. Are you going to do it? Okay, cool. It actually is going to do it. Okay. So, this is why the forecast is so doggone tricky for Central Arkansas. So, this is, let me switch this back over real quick. So, this right here, northern header, by the way. I'll have to change the header later on. But, basically, this is your 32-degree line. Okay, so this is temperatures at or below freezing at 850 millibar, which is the loft temperature, which is your mid-level temperatures. Okay, this is why we're saying the forecast is so doggone tricky, because look at your 925. This is supportive of snowfall. Let's go over to the precipitation real quick. It's not going to load that. But let's go back over here. Alright, let's go over to this real quick. Oh, wow. Okay, that's a new NAM, by the way. Michael D, you might want to check that out. This is a new NAM. Look what's going on now in Central Arkansas. Snow. So I mentioned before, guys, don't be shocked that this overperforms. It would not be the first time this thing has overperformed for us here. So we'll watch it closely here. But Michael, if you're still in this live stream, go peep the 12Z NAM. Very interesting. Very, very interesting across the board. So, southeastern Arkansas, cold rain. It's going to be cold rain for you guys down there. Matter of fact, I can't even rule out a few rumbles of thunder. Matter of fact, let's zoom this out and show you guys how massive the storm system is. Look at how the snow goes all the way up to Iowa, to Nebraska, Kansas, down to Oklahoma. You even have a severe threat along the Gulf Coast. So, pretty massive system. If this was about 100 miles south, we would be talking about a major winter storm here in Arkansas. If it was 100 miles to the south, that's how close we got with this event. But unfortunately, it's not. So we have to deal with it in northern and northwestern Arkansas. But central Arkansas is going to be the wild card. And I'm betting I'm going to see some reports central Arkansas snow by the time we get towards this afternoon and in this evening here. Okay, so milk and bread. I repeat, milk and bread. Goodness, guys. Goodness. Let's see. I wish it was the February 2021 event. That was a generational event. I don't think you're gonna get another one like that again for a while. It's just you get events like that, and it ends up being higher than normal and stuff like that. I remember forecasting that event, and I'm glad I was around to forecast that event because that was a generational event across the board. So I came right there, get your boots, mittens, and beanies ready. Oh goodness! Like I said, this is the NAM, and I'm gonna back this up. This is new data, by the way. I'm just kind of blabbering at this point, but this is interesting. It's a lot colder. Than it has been. NAM model has been generally warmer. This is what I mean. Flip-flop, flip-flop, flip-flop. So, we'll see. We'll see if the NAM model were to verify my map that I have on the page right now. Basically what we have up right now. Let's go back to this. So, the map we have right here, what we have at this point from Southwest Arkansas to Central and Northeastern Arkansas, would verify if the NAM model were to verify. So, we'll watch it closely. So before this is the afternoon data coming in. This is the the midday afternoon data coming in at this point. We'll watch it closely. Little Rock, I got my eyes on you. I got my eyes on you at this point. Okay, so watch it go 100. And if it goes 100 miles to the South Austin, goodness, that would be the most surprise winter storm I've ever forecasted out of the 8 years I've been here. That would be funny. And like I said before, I've seen stranger things happen in the past. I've had it happen before where model guidance has this one track, and all it took was to go further south than expected. Look what happened. I'm not saying it will happen, but that's something you always want to keep in the back of your mind when you're trying to forecast winter weather here. Because if it goes 100 miles south, you're screwed at this point. So let me see here. Yeah, baby's begging for snow. I'm hoping at least the majority of North and Central Arkansas sees it. It's going to be real interesting to see if we see snowfall here in the metro. And I noticed that the 12Z guidance, and keep in mind the 12Z guidance has the real-time data from this morning. It's coming in a lot colder now than it was earlier. I'm telling you guys, that's something that you watch. Real-time data helps us out so much. It's not even funny. So I see patches of freezing rain here and there. Do you think we may get a little bit? There will be periods of freezing rain. It's not going to be a major ice event by any stretch of the matter. Your temperature, and this is what I mean, your temperatures are so marginal, it's not even funny. One thing I want to stress with the NAM, by the way, and I say this is NAM model, doing NAM model things, but let's take a look at something real quick. So this is what we call 925 millibar temperatures. Alright, and this is what I mean, okay? So if you are, I'm going to pinpoint this real quick, and then I'm going to answer a few more questions, and then I'm going to hop off of here, guys, because I've gone over all the information. But I want to pinpoint this real quick, okay? So this is 925, okay? So this is 850, 925, and then where we are down here, that one temperature we know was the surface, okay? So this is 925. Here's 850, okay? So notice something. Let me put this down here, all right? 35. 31 over 30. That's 31 over 31. Okay. 32 over 28. 23 over 30. Goodness. That would get you snowfall here in Central Arkansas. I'll just put that right at this point. Okay. 23 over 29. And then 23 over 29 as well. Okay. So basically what we mean by this is the two temperatures we're talking about. This is 850 and 925. So this means your entire column, except for southwestern Arkansas, is below freezing. That's how you get snowfall here in Central Arkansas in November. We've seen this happen so many times in the past, it's not even funny. Also, let's take a look at this one last time too. This is your surface temperature, okay? So, 23, 29, 33. 23, 29, 33. 23, 30, 39. 32, 28, 40. Okay? So these are the three numbers that we're talking about at this point, okay? And I know, it looks super weird, it's super confusing, but 850 is at the top, 925 is low level, and then 33 is the number that we always know, okay? So in Little Rock, well, basically what would happen here in Little Rock, that will be an all-snow event, okay? Because 23, very, very cold. Means you've got pretty decent snowflakes. It gets to 30, you see a little bit of melting, not much, and then it gets 39, and it starts to melt just a little bit. That will be a heavy, wet snow. Your snowflakes would be about $half size here in Little Rock if that were to happen. So this is what we mean by the column at this point. So 23, 29, 33, 30, 35, 35, 31, 31, 34. And if you guys would like me to make a graphic or something like that out of this, kind of pinpoint what we're looking at, I may end up doing that today at some point. But this is what we're looking at in terms of temperature wise at this point. So let's go back over to our precipitation map and let's show you why you have snow. Okay, so look at there. Look at southwestern Arkansas, 30, 35, 35, all rain. You had that area of freezing rain, 31, 31, 34. That's freezing rain. Pine Bluff, 32, 28, 40. That's a mix of rain and snow. Central Arkansas, Little Rock, 23, 30, 39. That's snow. That's a heavy, wet snow, by the way. Russellville, 23, 29, 33. All snow. Fort Smith, 23, 29, 33. All snow. So, if you guys would like me to simplify that a little bit more in a graphic, let me know. But this is what we look at. This is the column. This basically is the column that we're looking at in terms of trying to get snowfall here. And this is what we look at for Futurecast and stuff like that in terms of trying to figure out who's going to see snowfall and stuff like that. So, I hope I didn't try to confuse everybody with that. I just wanted to kind of show you guys what we do on the back side of being on air and stuff like that here. Okay, so let me see here. Okay, so when does it reach freezing in northwestern Arkansas? It's gonna be late this afternoon into the freezing. And don't be shocked, by the way. Let's go back over to temperatures real quick. Do not be shocked if temperatures stay above freezing, by the way. Okay, so temperatures are gonna be very, very marginal for this event, especially at the surface. 32, 33, 34 degrees. That's not where we're not expecting much in the way of accumulations here, but just watch it closely here. So for those that are tuning in, we're going to go back over this real quick and go over this. Okay, so western Arkansas, 5 p.m. to 11. The area in white's all snow. The area in purple is a wind remits to a light snow, and in the area in green, it's all cold rain. So Harrison, you'll be right there in the all snow event. I think you guys are under a winter weather advisory for the potential 1 or 2 inches of snow. Could be some locally higher amounts here. Okay, so keep that in mind across the area. Okay, how much snow we're expecting? Let's take a look at that real quick. 1 or 2 inches of snow up there. Could be some locally higher amounts up there in the Harrison area. Newport, I'd say a trace to half an inch right now, but we're gonna watch it closer here, Michael. And I'm gonna look at that too. Main thing is if there's southeast winds, there will be a warm nose. Kind of curious if the name has changed from southeast to northeast. That would make a big difference if that were to be the case. I could take a look at that real quick and see if it has. So, okay, so right now, it's still southeast. Yeah, it's very, very light with your southeast winds. I mean, very, very light with them right now. Generally, not even 5 miles per hour. So that's what I'm saying. You don't have a lot of warming going on at the mid levels. So that's what's supporting and winter weather over here in western and northwestern Arkansas here. But I could definitely see it across east central and southeastern Arkansas, where you would get a cold rain down there, where you have the higher southeast winds here. Okay, so Magnolia, it's gonna be a no. I'm not expecting any snowfall down there in southern Arkansas here. You guys are gonna be in the end part of the stick. It's gonna be a cold rain down there across the board. So I think this is it. Fulton County. Let me go back over here. Fulton County up there. We'll have to wait and see. Like I said before, I think it's gonna be kind of a miss at this time. Snow for Conway. I'm gonna try my best to get snow here in Central Arkansas. Right now, per trends, it does favor it. And don't be shocked. I'm gonna give it to about 2 o'clock, and we're gonna see what happens at this point. So what time for Poinsett County? Again, there's the timing at this point. We're talking midnight, 6 a.m. if it occurs up there in northeastern Arkansas. Don't be shocked if you say it all rain, especially in Poinsett County here. Depends on if you're on the western side or you're on the eastern side of Poinsett County at this point. So I think that is it in terms of all the comments right now. Like I said before, this is not going to be our last live stream. I'm going to have more information and stuff like that coming up this afternoon, this evening. We are going to break away for a little bit. We'll be back, I'd say about 4 o'clock, 3, 4 o'clock work for everybody. Going over all the information and stuff like that. So, what about Hempstead County down there in southwest Arkansas? Cold rain down there. So, we'll continue to keep you guys updated. That's all I got for you guys right now. Thank you guys for tuning in this morning. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments or message us. Also, go like our Arkansas Storm Hunters page. If you have any snowfall pictures or videos, stuff like that, send it over to us. We're going to post it there and then kind of share it over to the AWW page here, guys. Okay, so that's all I got for you guys right now. We'll continue to keep you guys updated right here in your source for all things Arkansas weather.